Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. It's great to see you. Monday, start of another week. Had a couple of good days. I actually got a little bit of sleep, which was nice for a change. That's always quite handy. I got some product shoots done, so that was pretty cool too. Some unboxings that'll be out this week. 3 different products. Some exciting stuff happening there. So pretty cool. All sort of culminated out of my M50, transitioning from the M50 to full frame and not doing that, using the RP now for video for a majority of it. And on the hiking stuff, I'm going to still use the 12. But yes, looking now to go from the RP maybe up, if we can, to an R6 in September. See how we go. But other than that, yeah, if you haven't already, look, the new video's out. Hope you enjoyed it. It came up pretty good. The drone stuff was pretty wild. First day in Esperance. This one shows a fair bit. We did a bit of a family day and went down the beach, had a swim, did a bit of driving around Esperance, and what an amazing city. Just postcards everywhere you go. Crazy. One thing we didn't know until probably the end of that week in Esperance was like shark attacks. So just something you got to be careful of. Like it's their ocean. It's like cold ocean. It's not like tropics or anything where they shouldn't be, or generally not shouldn't. But yeah, so just crazy. But I had one of the most amazing weeks of my life. Definitely in Esperance. What a beautiful part of the world, and we're getting into that week of filming there. So yeah, lots of more photos to do on that. That'll be next. So we're going to have a break this week from the photo journey from our southwest trip. So I hope you are enjoying that. If you get the product videos that'll be coming out this week. So I needed to fit them in somewhere. I didn't want to wait another 4 or 5 weeks. I wanted to get them done because I need to use them. And you can't use them unless you've unboxed them. It's crazy. So yeah, I hope you enjoy those this week. As I said, I did filming over the weekend after work, and I've just got to go through and get it all together now and sort of make it happen. Hopefully I've done the right thing. It's very hard, sort of product shoots or something sort of, I guess I sort of started with the fishing reels. It was a little bit easy. You could lock it in, and that now I'm trying to do a little bit better. It's very hard to do on site in a room when I can even bring so much gear. Can't bring spinners and sort of dollies and stuff like that where you can do all those funky stuff. So yeah, I try my hardest. Hopefully you do enjoy it, and I do appreciate you stopping by wherever you're from. And yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, smash that bell. If you haven't got a nice warm hoodie, go over to the merch store. Links down below. Get yourself a nice hoodie. These are gold, super comfy. Super stoked. Only a small little logo. I do have a bigger logo on there, so you can get those as well, depending on how you feel about the channel or how you feel about the logo. I love my logo. One of the good friends from work designed it for me. Bloody legend he is. And it's sort of where we started off in as the fishing team channel when I started that, and we've just, I guess, over the last 3 or 4 years, just grown and changed and adapted and to suit to where we are now. So it's been a great journey. Very cool. So yeah, go check that video out. Esperance. It's Twilight Beach is that we are predominantly of, and I got the Mini 2 up around there, and wow, definitely one of my favourite beaches to go swimming. The water. If you've never been to the south coast of WA, please put it on your bucket list. It's one of those spots you need at least a couple of weeks to go across. There's so many beautiful towns, so many nice, friendly people. Food's good. The water is absolutely friggin' amazing. It is definitely somewhere. And if you're a photographer, which I'm assuming probably a lot of yous are, or even a tech person, you're looking to switch off from tech, it's got everything. You can rest and switch off. You can go camping. You can hiking. It's got everything there. It's a great place. So definitely go check it out. Hopefully these videos inspire you to take a trip down there. I was in Perth for like 12 years, and I sort of didn't ever really think about it. I'd sort of done Margaret River and like, oh yeah, it's all the same. It's just bush, whatever, rada. And I hadn't seen any videos of that. I started seeing it's only once I started back into photography that I started seeing more and more photos from down there that sort of pushed me to go, well, I need to investigate this, and I really like to go there. And then me and my lovely wife decided to have a vacation when we moved, and yeah, it's been a 6-month journey, and I can't wait to get into the new house in July, because living out of a suitcase is fine for maybe a month, but at 7 months, we're just coming up into the 7th month. It's no fun anymore. I'm very much over suitcases. Anyway, rightio. So, well, that's the wrong book. What we're going to talk about today, a little bit of news. Now, probably the biggest thing, and actually a good one, it's Canon lenses. We know we've got heaps coming. Well, Canon rumors, big shout out to them. They do get the best info on the Canons. It's already really good website. Go check it out. If you're into Canon stuff, you definitely need to sign up. They've got great forums, some really switched on people. It's not a negative place. It's not a Canon's better than everything else, sort of Samsung, Apple, all the fanboy. You don't get all that. It's actually proper photographers, and they do enjoy Canon. That's fine. You'd expect that going to a Canon site, but it's actually a good conversation. So if you're into it, definitely go check them out. But yeah, shout out for all the information they do manage to get from their sources. 14 to 35 mil lens coming. F4 L series. Now, L series is like, oh, damn it. And F4, oh, damn it. RF mount, obviously. So one of the new lenses coming, 14 full frame. Ridiculously, like, perfect for me. I love it. It's just that bloody F4. I don't know, because I do a lot of astro, and I thought, well, if they brought in an RF, I need a 2.8 would be great. The 15 to 35, awesome lens. Fantastic, love it. But $3,000, basically $3,000 second hand. It's just too much for a lens. It's just, I'd have to sell just about half my gear just to afford the lens, let alone a camera good enough to use for it. So it's such a hard sell. Now, the beauty of this 14 to 35, the F4, look, it's going to be pretty much useless for astro. F4 is no good for that, but landscape stuff, F4, it's going to be tack sharp, it's going to be weather resistant, beautiful. If I do get a new camera, well, then that's a lens I'm probably going to be looking at getting. Now they're saying it's probably going to be around, I think it was 11 or 12 to 1300 US, so about 1700 Australian. That's actually manageable for a L series Canon RF lens. Zoom as well. So, like, as I said, the 15 to 35 2.8 is $3,000 second hand. This is half that, brand new. You get the RF, you get the quality, you get the high speed focus, and you get a 14 mil. Pretty darn cool. I'm actually pretty excited. The L series coming out of RF is being just so expensive, and it's like, oh man, it'd be nice, but like, who can afford that? Until you unless you're making money off it and you can afford to tax write it off, it's a big ask for any sort of, even if you're really passionate about it, that's a lot of money to spend on a lens that sits in your bag for a fair amount of time, So it's a little tricky in that regards, but look, I'm pretty excited about that. I think I can make it work, because what I do is this lens here, which I've got on now, the EF 24mm 2.8, fantastic lens, and I'm pretty impressed with actually the footage it does get out of it. Now that's 2.8 image stabilized. I can use this for astro, fantastic. I've got my 16 to 35 2.8 coming from the EF, so that could be my astro lens. I can sell this one, move him on, use that and 1835 money to maybe get one of these, and that would be a great deal. I think I'd be pretty stoked about that if I could work that out. It's more of a chance of that happening than me getting a 15 to 35. So pretty excited about that. That's good news to hear, and even better, it's coming out soon apparently. So next probably month to 2 months, Canon Room is saying it's just about gone. It's had its certification in Russia. I believe that number that they had up the other day was actually this lens. So good news in regards to that for something zoom and wide, and for the RF mount, which we're going to get the lenses this year. And I know there's a lot of RF owners like myself that are biting at the bit to try and get something to use. and more so, there's probably more of us that are trying to get something that we can afford too. So very, very cool. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is Archer. If you haven't heard of Archer, well, we've got electric cars, we've got Teslas, we've got Rivians, we've got Mach-E's, F-150s, we've got scooters, electric scooters and bikes, which I'm a big fan of electric. I think I'm actually excited about that to be alive, to see the swap over from internal combustion engines over to the electric. Be sort of, I guess, for those people that went from horse and carriage to motor vehicle, that sort of time frame, and to be alive and witness that sort of change, it's probably going to be a little bit frustrating for a lot of us, especially us old people. But it's also like we get to see something new and something grow out of nothing and develop. We've been here, we've watched Tesla grow, we've watched these electric scooters come out of nothing and now do 120 k's an hour for 100k range, lights and just ridiculous stuff that you can get now with electric. And as I said, I think it's definitely all going that way. It's going to change. There's always change. That's the one thing about change. It's always guaranteed that something you're going to always develop. Generally, the human race doesn't like to sit still and do stuff, except with laws and taxes. I think they generally stay around for a lot longer. The government doesn't like changing them and offloading stuff. They like taking our money and keeping it in their back pocket to do whatever they do with it. It's not coming back to me, I know that. Now, so the Archer first electric jet plane, and it's a little bit of a different one. You would have seen some of those. The American Air Force have a basically like a helicopter where the engines are upright, and then once it gets up in the air, they roll forward and it becomes a plane. So it becomes like a twin prop or a quad prop. I've seen them when they've done stuff up in the territory. When fishing the Barra Classic, they've had exercises on. That's the word I was looking for. And you see these amazing things like and the pretty cool. It's exactly like that, but think electric batteries, fully autonomous. It's basically got a Tesla 13-inch screen in the front of this thing. It is coming. They have been pretty much backed. It's a wild bit of kit. I'm just going to run through it all. It'll do 60 miles. That's its range. So it's not a massive range. It's more of a city taxi sort of a service scenario, I think, to begin with. 150 miles an hour. So it's going to hoot along. Full luxury inside. If you have a look at these things, Supercar Bondi, actually, I watched her when she went and did a bit of research and had a bit of a read. I was pretty impressed with it. It's a pretty cool bit of kit. As I said, fully autonomous. There's no pilot. You get in and it just does its thing. You basically push where you want to go and then it goes off. Obviously a little bit scary. Well, it's got all the redundancies. It's got the parachutes and the this and that and that. So if the engines all chop out and everything turns to pear shape, it'll float you back down and you should be okay. So I guess that's as best as you can do to start with. So there's not much else you can do in that regards. It'll have, what else we got here? Redundancies lets you to fly home safely regardless of any unseen circumstance. Cost estimates about $240 US or 320 Australian dollars per 100 kilometres. That's pretty exy. So look, I don't want to sugarcoat it. We won't be buying this ourselves in place of our car. It's pretty much this, and probably the first 5 or 10 models of these will be all for the ultra rich and the rich to ferry them around, so they don't have to get stuck in traffic with us plebs going to work. But look, it's going to be pretty cool to see them flying, and I think the trickiest part is the same with electric cars is not being able to hear these things. Because they're just going to be silent. It's going to be, you'll have the props and stuff going, and that'll be a bit thing, but it's not going to be a helicopter where you still get that engine noise. It's going to be pretty, whatever they do with the props, that wind noise, that's pretty much going to be it. So that's pretty, I think that's the part they really need to work out. They need to, because I guess with a petrol engine, you sort of can hear it coming. So that's sort of, you don't have to look, and it's going to be the tricky thing. Like when you go to Europe the first time and everything's on the wrong side, or you go the wrong side of the road, or the States, probably a better thing. You go they drive on the wrong side of the road over there, on the right side instead of the left, and you go to cross the road and you look look left and right, and then you look the wrong way, and oh my shit, you nearly got run over. So it's going to be some sort of that sort of feeling, I think. But pretty cool. Batteries 75 kilowatts an hour. AERODYNAMICS 11.3 LD, so it's like ultra LD. You see it in the thumbnail. Go check it out. It looks really, really good. Emissions 100% electric, zero emissions. Range, I said 16 miles. Only weighs 1,500 kilos, so very, very light. It'll be all carbon fiber and all that. Actually, no, obviously they don't give you a price for this thing too. It's basically put your name down if you want to buy one, and they give you that cost per kilometre or mile sort of figure. So that's about the only sort of fees you get from it. It's got a 13-inch passenger display and hover powers 325 kilowatts. But look, I think it's one of those things where you need the first. We've got a lot of taxi services looking at doing this electric and sort of very much in the same sort of scope as a drone to fly people. This is a little bit of a different take. It's half plane, half hover, so you don't need the runway, but you still get the plane sort of aesthetics. And I think that's going to make people a little bit more comfortable knowing that they've got wings there. It's not just blades spinning. Once the blade stop, you fall. So yeah, I think it's good. And it looks pretty much like it's gonna happen. They look like they're a pretty organised, switched on organisation. And look, I think there'll be a lot of rich people. I'm sure Bezos will have one. Maybe Muskie might get one. Go fully electric. He's got the electric car now. He needs an electric plane. Get him from Texas to LA whenever he's doing his launches and stuff. So that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, well, good luck to him. It looks hot dog. Definitely looks a hot dog, and I think they'll do pretty well. And that's about it for today. Yeah, hope you had a great weekend. Hope you not locked down, or no one's sick, or you're having to deal with that. I know New South Wales has had a heap of cases. I've still got to work out that this week. Probably got to do some phone calls tomorrow to work out how I'm going to get home, because I've got to fly through Sydney, so I'm not sure if Queensland will let me go through the airport to get there. Who knows? It's COVID. It's COVID crazy year again. 2020, 2021, backing it up. Radio, I will see you all again tomorrow. Have a fantastic night, and yeah, see you soon. Whether you're going this way, that way, I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.